Hello and welcome back. Hello and welcome back. Hello everyone, it's Raven here. It's a very dreary, rainy day in Houston today, and I thought to myself, what better thing to do right now than to put on a couple pounds of makeup and talk to you about online dating. So,
yeah.
Y'all, I have been on the struggle bus for months. Obviously, quarantine started a couple months ago, so none of us were really allowed to leave the house or anything. And my senior year of college was interrupted by COVID, so I was sent home when things were supposed to be fun, when I was supposed to be out on the town, partying, jazzing it up. And then during the summer, I lived with my grandparents for 2 months, and I just recently moved back in with my mom so I can work virtually as I start grad school. It's been about a good 6 months of me just
Celibately minding my business.
not by choice, but because of Miss Rona. So a couple of weeks ago, I felt inspired and decided to download Hinge. If you don't know what Hinge is, it's basically a dating app where you create a profile and then you match with people. You see if you're a good fit, start a conversation, and then maybe go on a date, a little something, I don't know, a little kissy kissy. And let me tell you, it has been a trip using Hinge. I thought it would be kind of fun for me to get ready as if I was having a virtual date with someone and then also talk to y'all.
So
let's put makeup on my skin and cause me to break out for no reason. Oh God, I can't see anything. My eyesight has been getting so bad since I've been back in school. I'm reading stuff on my screen all the time, so my eyes are
it's not good.
We're gonna do a full glam look today because I haven't gotten glam in a long time. But also this is not a makeup channel. We're just vibing. Let's go for a pinky look, a pinky purpley look.
A pinky purpley look.
Dating in a pandemic is hard. Obviously it's not very responsible for us to be going out and seeing people in person right now, which means that a lot of the dating happening right now is in the digital sphere. But Hinge has this feature where you can have a video chat with someone. And let me tell you, that shit is awkward. I had a video date with this guy a couple of weeks ago. He was a very sweet guy. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with him. He was lovely. But the video call kept glitching. So he would say something and I'd be like, what did you say? Can you repeat that, please? I didn't quite get that.
It just was weird. It felt like I was in a business meeting or something.
What am I doing? This does not look good. Oh God. One thing I will say though is dating on Hinge is a lot less sketchy than trying to date on Tinder. When I was an undergrad, I had Tinder, but see, here's the key difference between using Tinder when you're in college and on a campus versus using Tinder when you're in a major city like Houston. When I was in college using it, most of the people who were popping up on my Tinder were also college students. And so even if I didn't know that person, I was no more than 1 or 2 degrees separated from them. So I wasn't just going into something without any conceptualization of who this person really is.
People be lying on the internet. People just be saying whatever.
Also, what happened a lot for me was I would see people on Tinder that I knew in real life and we would match. And then it was so you been thought I was cute but just didn't say nothing. Why didn't you say nothing? Also, I look like a freaking clown. I look like a clown. This is the clown show.
This is not looking good at all, and I don't like it.
If there's anything that the last 10 years of watching thousands of makeup videos on YouTube have taught me, it's that when in doubt, blend it out. Also, can we just talk about how exhausting the talking phase is? I've matched with people on Hinge and then we've just been talking and talking and talking and talking for 2 weeks. I'm not a big texter, and Hinge, the messaging platform, is basically like texting, so I don't really have the endurance or the patience for this. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about how dry my quarantine has been and why I decided to get on Hinge versus, other apps like Tinder, let's talk a little bit more about how to stay safe when you're dating on these online apps. This is important, especially for my women with an X. I want you to stay safe, and I'm gonna share these tips with you. The The talking phase is exhausting, but that does bring me to my first tip, which is talking is important because you need to check their vibe. You know, when you're meeting someone in person, you can suss them out a little easier. But when you're dating online, you could be getting catfished. Like, you could think you're talking to the most fine man named William McGee. I don't know why a fine man would be named William McGee, but there you have it. But you're actually talking to a 60-year-old man with no hair on his head and boogers in his nose. And you don't want that. Okay, so say you've been talking, you know, you've been messaging back and forth for a little bit, and you like the vibe, you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, everything is checking out. Before you meet with that person, in person, if you're comfortable doing that in a pandemic, it's up to you, I'm not judging.
You know, we all got our needs.
But if you want to meet in person, before you do that, make sure you have a video call date. Now, this is really important for the reason I was just outlining about catfishing. If someone is not who they say they are, then you'll be able to at least see that visually through a video call before you meet in person. Plus, you know, sometimes people have one vibe when they're texting, or, you know, they hand the phone to their friends and their friend is doing the texting or whatever, and a very different vibe when you talk to them. So this is also a part of the vibe check. And trust your gut. If something don't feel right, don't meet with them. Don't do it. Make sure that you're in a public place. Maybe you can go to a park or a restaurant with outdoor seating, since that's safer, you know, with COVID. Don't go somewhere alone with this person that you just met. Don't do that. All right, let's cake this face up. Since you don't know this person, I also recommend that you drive to the date location or transport yourself there instead of asking them to come to your house and pick you up, because, you know, then they know where you live. And if they're like a stalker or something, then they could just show up there at any time. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but you don't know this person like that. So lead from a place of self-protection. Something else I forgot to mention is when you're in the talking phase, as horrible as it is, don't be afraid to make the first move. I've found that I have a pretty good success rate when, you know, I match with someone and I'm just like, hey, how y'all doing? I think guys, I mean, I'm speaking very heteronormatively, at least in my experience with dating men, though I'm not just exclusively attracted to men. You know, it can be a little cumbersome to make the first move all the time. Meeting up with people from a dating app as women is just especially so scary. You just never know who you're dealing with. So, you know, dating apps are all fun and games, but it's always good to have these little tips and tricks in your back pocket so that you can stay safe while trying to, you know, connect with people. That's a very PC way of saying it.
Gotta make sure you drag that down to your neck, honey.
Also, can we talk about how freaking crusty my eyebrows are right now? Look at that.
Look at that.
Now it's time for a little blushy.
I'm still using the NARS Orgasm. Very on brand for this video.
Okay, I'm ready.